Okay, folks, in spite of what our clock says up there, it is 6 o'clock and we will begin. Marcy, would you call the roll, please?
Miller, Williams,
Yes.
Hay,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes. Okay, our next order of business is the approval of the June 28th, 2021 minutes. Are there any additions, corrections? If not, could I have a motion to approve, please?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Williams,
Yes.
Hay,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes. Okay, and then under new business, we have 3 items, which we will require 2 readings for passage. And let's begin with Bill number 2021-47, Mr. Slagle.
Yes, Your Honor. This is an annual ordinance that we pass. This is for each political subdivision with an annual operating budget in excess of $1 million, that we must file personal financial interest statements, and this is part of the Code of Ethics. This ordinance establishes the procedure for disclosure by certain public officials and employees, which means the elected officials, plus myself and our Chief Purchasing Officer, which is Roger Haynes, that if we have any private or financial interest whatsoever with any dealings with the city, we must disclose. And therefore, as the annual procedure, we would recommend that council proceed with 2 readings by title only and passage of the attached ordinance, and the ordinance has been posted its required length of time.
Okay, and I might ask you one question.
Yes.
As far as, and I know, as far as the elected officials go, we do this on an annual basis, and there is a deadline for when we have to get that in, right?
Yes, everyone files that disclosure statement, May 1st.
May 1st, okay. All right,
Make a motion to read bill number 2021-47.
Second.
we've had a motion, first motion, for first reading, I should say. All those in favor?
Williams,
Yes.
Hay,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Bill number 2021-47, ordinance of the City of Mexico, Missouri to establish a procedure to disclose potential conflicts of interest and substantial interest for certain municipal officials. Move for second reading on bill number 2021-47.
Second.
I have a motion for the second reading, and call for the, is there a call for the motion? You got to read it first, sorry.
Call for the roll.
Roll.
Williams,
Yes.
Hay,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Bill number 2021-47, ordinance to the City of Mexico, Missouri to establish a procedure to disclose potential conflicts of interest and substantial interest for certain municipal officials. I move passage of bill number 2021-47.
Second.
Motion's made and second, call for the roll.
Williams,
Yes.
Hay,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes. Okay, motion passes. Now for bill number 2021-48, an ordinance approving the final plat of TPC Holdings subdivision to the City of Mexico, Missouri. The map is on the board there. Mr. Slagle.
Yes, this is for a 2-lot subdivision, and to cover the details, Rita Jackson.
Good evening, Council. This agenda item concerns a request for final approval of TBC Holdings subdivision submitted by Kevin Smith, TBC Holdings LLC. This is a 2.17-acre tract of land located on East Liberty between U.S. Highway 54 bypass and Centerbeck Drive. It has been subdivided into 2 lots. The submitted plat by Louis Beatty, Inc., signed June 14, 2021, contains all of the requirements for a final plat. There are no improvements planned as part of this subdivision. Engineering staff has reviewed the plat, and it meets all the subdivision requirements. Mr. Smith is subdividing this property to separate land, which is currently in use for quarry and construction-related operations, from land which serves as a residential capacity. All land within the proposed subdivision is zoned I-1, industrial, light industrial. Mr. Smith plans to sell the portion of land identified as Lot 2 of the plat, and currently there is a residence on that house known as 4099 East Liberty. Final approval was given to the plat on July 6 by the Planning and Zoning Commission. A copy of those minutes were attached. In our audience with us this afternoon, we do have Cullen Birkenhoff, which is with Lewis and Beatty, Inc., and Kevin Smith, the owner. Staff recommends council proceed with 2 readings by title only and passage of the attached ordinance. This ordinance has been posted the required length of time.
Thank you. Any questions? Okay.
Make a motion to read bill number 2021-48.
Second.
All those, did I get a second?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Roll call, please.
Williams?
Yes.
Hay?
Yes.
Shivers?
Yes.
Briggs?
Yes.
Bill number 2021-48, an ordinance approving the final plat of TBC Holdings subdivision to the City of Mexico, Missouri. Move for second reading of bill number 2021-48.
Second.
Been a motion for a second reading. Roll call, please.
Williams?
Yes.
Hay?
Yes.
Shivers?
Yes.
Briggs?
Yes.
Bill number 2021-48, an ordinance approving the final plat of TBC Holdings subdivision to the City of Mexico, Missouri. Move for passage.
Second.
Oh, there's been a motion to pass it. May I have roll call, please?
Williams?
Yes.
Hay?
Yes.
Shivers?
Yes.
Briggs?
Yes. Okay, third item of business, under new business, bill number 2021-49, an ordinance amending Chapter 38. It has to do with traffic and vehicle schedule. Mr. Schlegel.
Yes, Your Honor, this is another one of those instances of cleaning up and matching what's in the books versus what's in the field as far as signage goes. To cover the details on this particular one, Drew Williford, Assistant City Engineer.
Good evening, Council. Bruce summarized this well. This essentially boils down to 3 parts. One is intersections which used to be yield controlled that are now stop controlled. And then, well, that being 2 parts. And then the third being a no parking section. And we are also adding 2 locations to that which have not been in the schedules previously. Those are at boat ramps, one at Teal Lake and one at Lakeview. So essentially, this covers a few different measures, one being the record keeping and bringing things in line with what's in the field to on paper, but also adding a couple locations for those boat ramps. So if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Any questions?
Move to read bill number 2021-49.
Motion's been made for first reading for bill 2021-49. Do I have a second? I have a second. Roll call, please.
Williams?
Yes.
Hay?
Yes.
Shivers?
Yes.
Briggs?
Yes. Okay.
Bill number 2021-49, an ordinance amending Chapter 38, Article 10, Section Schedule 2, Schedule 3, and Schedule 13 of the Traffic and Vehicle Schedule of the Mexico City Code. I move for second reading of Bill 2021-49.
Second.
I have a bill for second reading. Roll call.
Williams?
Yes.
Hay?
Yes.
Shivers?
Yes.
Briggs?
Yes.
Bill number 2021-49, ordinance amending Chapter 38, Article 10, Schedule 2, Schedule 3, and Schedule 13 of the Traffic and Vehicle Schedule of the Mexico City Code. I move for passage of Bill number 2021-49.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Williams?
Yes.
Hay?
Yes.
Shivers?
Yes.
Briggs?
Yes. Okay, new business, resolution requires only 1 reading. We have 1 item of business under that, bill number 2021-50, a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute change order number 4. Mr. Schlegel.
Yes, Your Honor, this is our contract with the cast-in-place pipelining of various sanitary sewer lines. Some additional work as part of that contract. To cover the details, Kenzie Russell.
Our cast-in-place pipelining work is completed. This adjusts the quantities for the work that was actually accomplished. The lining of the manholes is due to start this week if the rain and the storms hold off. That will be the last part of the contract. This change order adds $12,719.00 to the contract, bringing it to a total of $254,869.30. Our budget for this project's $300,000, so we are still within our authorized budget for the work, and would recommend that we authorize the change order.
Any question?
I move for bill number 20, reading of bill number 2021-50.
Second.
I have a motion for the first reading of bill number 2021-50. Roll call.
Williams.
Yes.
Haig.
Yes.
Shivers.
Yes.
Briggs.
Yes.
Bill number 2021-50, a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute change order number 4 with Insituform Technology USA for the CIPP contract. Move for passage of bill number 2021-50.
Second.
Roll call.
Williams.
Yes.
Haig.
Yes.
Shivers.
Yes.
Briggs.
Yes. All right, now moving right along and very quickly. We're going to other business now. We have the staff report on the Ruth Court Drainage Project. Mr. Schagel.
Yes, Your Honor, if council remembers, at the last meeting, you had a citizen appear before you to ask some questions about Ruth Court drainage. We didn't have a lot of information about that, so we'd ask that Public Works review that and bring you back a report. They've done that, and I will ask Kenzie Russell to review what he has determined.
We were able to put together some history on the area. The subdivision and the storm drainage as it exists today was laid out when the property was subdivided, and then the pipe in question was extended at some time after the subdivision, probably when the houses were built. Rather than having the swale between the houses, it was extended and turned. The memorandum also showed the easements for the storm drainage. The drainage does fall within those easements. The citizens, Mrs. Rice and Mr. McBride, have purchased the house recently, and Mr. McBride had come in and talked with us about extending that pipe to eliminate the open drainage across the backyard of the property. It's our recommendation, after looking at everything, that we support the request with some engineering work, that they be allowed to extend that pipe at their cost, and then the city would accept the pipe for maintenance once it was installed according to plan. And that's, in brief, kind of where we're at and what our recommendation to the council would be. We'd ask for support or authorization to proceed with offering that to the property owners.
Okay, any questions? This has all been explained to the people.
We have not talked with them since the last council meeting.
Okay.
Since they kind of elevated it up, we wanted to do our research and get some idea of what the consensus might be before we made an offer that and put something on the table.
Okay.
But we're certainly happy to go back and talk with them once we know
Right.
what we can do.
Do we need a motion on this, or is this just something we kind of say, go, how do we handle
I
this?
think it would be best if you had a motion to support the recommendation to present that offer and work with them on that. This would be generally, Kenzie, what we would do if it was the subdivision was before us today. If it was, so I mean, it's the same kind of process that we use with dealing with anyone that present today as well.
With the exception that if it was just a greenfield subdivision, the property owner, the developer would be responsible for the engineering. In this case, an established neighborhood, the city does maintain the pipe that's there. We felt it reasonable that we provide, it's a small project, that we provide that service to them.
Okay. Go ahead.
I was about to say, I move that we proceed as recommended.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? Second. I have a first and second. Would you call the roll, please?
Williams.
Abstain.
Haig.
Yes.
Shivers.
Yes.
Briggs.
Yes, motion passes. Okay, Kenzie, thank you. Okay, we'll now go to B, claims and bills.
I make a motion, we pay the bills?
Second.
We have a motion first and second to pay the bills. Marcy, call roll, please.
Williams.
Yes.
Haig.
Yes.
Shivers.
Yes.
Briggs.
Yes. Okay, we're getting to the end of this real fast. And we're at the point for council comments. Steve, you want to go first?
Sure. Nothing too much. Just looked like we had a good 4th of July celebration. Not some excitement, not too much. So that was good, and got the fireworks and everything off. And I think the people were happy with that. So that's all I got.
Chris?
First of all, I went and saw Frozen this weekend at Pritzker. That was pretty cool. As a guy, I thought I'd be like, oh, what the heck? But it was actually really good. My son knew a bunch of the kids in there, and I've grown up with a lot, and they're all getting to that age. So it was nice, and they did a good job. Fireworks. The fireworks themselves, the displays, very good. The after part of fireworks, it's just my opinion, is that I think, I understand we're not going to be able to stop people from shooting fireworks in town, but I also think there has to come a point where we have to start writing tickets, and we can't be afraid to write tickets because of causing a bigger problem. Because I know there were some issues, especially on the second night, where officers were told just let it go because we don't want to agitate the situation. And I appreciate that, but at some point, if we're going to have a law, then let's have a law. If we're not going to have the law, then let's just not have the law. And just, if we don't want to do it, then that's fine. And third, grass. We're getting to that time of year. We're getting the grass situation. I'm not sure what the situation is on 54, coming up 54. That used to be Kit Bond's house. That grass is all tall and looks crappy on the side of the road. The weeds are off the curbs into the road. And I'm not sure what the situation is on Huntingfield either, because we get onto Hoover on his side to get his side mowed, but the other side is not getting mowed at all. But they are mowing further up on their property, so they are using the property on some level. So I'm not sure why the discrepancy. And I don't know if we have any control over the state situation a little bit further up the road, but that looks ghetto-y too. Excuse my language, but it doesn't look pretty. And one of the things that we saw when we were doing the city plan, one of the things that our citizens really pushed for, number one, was beautification and making our city look good. That was like number one. And this grass issue, it just looks tacky in some spots. So if we're, other than that, again, I'm going to say, are we going to enforce it or are we not going to enforce it? If we're not, then don't enforce it. If we are, enforce it across the board to everybody. So that's all I got.
I'm not sure, but I believe some of that is supposed to be native grass area. Do you know?
I'm pretty sure along the highway, hanging off into the road is not native grass. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
There's a spot
yeah.
that's-
I'm trying to...
It's back off the road a little
Yeah.
bit.
Okay, well, we could always check it, so. Any other, okay. Well, I'll go next, and then I'll let you go. Okay. First of all, I thought 4th of July was terrific after not have celebrating the 4th last year, and I would like, we owe Mr. Liu a big thank you for the wonderful fireworks, and there were, it was like being in the city when that was all over, because there were so many people watching that, and that was a great display. So that was great. And I went to the food trucks, and they were great, and they had wonderful food. And then the second night I was out of town because I was with my family, but I think, I'm sure that was fun too. So that's all. And Yana?
I think everyone has said, the fireworks and stuff were great. We know it's very hard to enforce the things within town and being fair. So we thank, just glad that people were trying to be safe and went as well as it did. I'm glad that I'm not hearing this fireworks now in the neighborhood. It's sort of subsided. I just want to remind everyone, the numbers are up in our area. To just practice, being safe and respectful, social distancing, and if you're not vaccinated, consider wearing a mask. That's all I have to say.
Couple of things, Your Honor. One is that I presented to you so that you could read earlier, which was a thank you from the Miss Missouri organization. And then I also received a notice that was from Missouri American Water, and it was supposed to be today, that they said that they would be sending out letters to approximately 28 residents within our community which have homes built prior to 1970. And this is part of the revised EPA lead and copper rules. And what they're wanting to identify is how many of those lines still very well could be galvanized or copper lines in order to meet the lead and copper rule as far as reduction goes. So they're basically going to be asking about doing some inspections, and those letters are going to be going out. So if you get one of those, that's generally what it's about.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. That's it. Okay, our time, we now have done our comments from the council, and we're ready for public comments. I would remind you that you have 3 minutes if you want, and you have to state your name and your address, and the mic is now open for those public comments. Okay, well, if none, we will go on, and do I have a motion then to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Okay. Marcy?
Williams.
Yes.
Hay.
Yes.
Shivers.
Yes.
Briggs.
Yes.